White walls, flickering lights, footsteps echo. My breath too loud, the smell antiseptic and rust. I shouldn't be here, but I can't turn back. Not yet. The hospital stands like a carcass, empty windows, black sockets staring down at me. You remember the way places used to feel before they rotted. Fresh paint, nurses' chatter, the squeak of shoes on polished tile. Not here, it's just silence. Silence and static. Yes, there it is again, that old radio, faint through the corridor. A low hum like AM stations bleeding through the airwaves in the middle of the night. I had one in my Chevy back in '79 before the speakers blew. Same sound, same uneasy whisper between songs. The hallway yawns, swallowing me whole. Paint curls off the walls like peeling skin. My shoes scrape against grit. Somewhere above, a fluorescent tube buzzes, dies, then sputters back to life. A strobe. Flash dark. In each flicker I see movement, just the corner of an arm, a white coat vanishing. Hello, my voice cracks. It bounces back at me hollow, too loud, no answer. Just the radio static, soft as breath. I remember when I was a kid, lying in bed, tuning the dial long past midnight. The voice of some late-night horror host spilling ghost stories through the speakers. Stay tuned, if you dare. My father shouted down the hall to turn it off. I never did. Now in this place I hear the same voice, faint, garbled, as though the walls themselves are picking up transmissions. A cart rolls in the dark. Wheels squeal, metal grinding. I freeze. The sound stops. Then clang, a door slams somewhere deep in the hospital. And the static grows louder. I follow the noise, though every bone in my body begs me not to. Each step drags, weighted by dust and dread. The linoleum beneath me has cracked open, curling into jagged teeth. My flashlight beam cuts through the dark, bouncing off broken gurneys and overturned chairs. There's a smell here, linen left too long in damp closets. Underneath it, faint rot. I cover my mouth, but it doesn't help. The stink creeps in. It settles inside my chest. The radio hum threads through the silence again. Not just static, now music, warped like a cassette that's melted in the sun. A woman's voice, stretched thin, singing a lullaby I almost recognize. The kind you'd hear drifting from a diner jukebox at 2 a.m. back in '85 when the streets were empty and the coffee never stopped burning. I reach the nurse's station. Papers scatter across the desk, yellowed, brittle. My hand brushes the edge of a clipboard, so cold as if someone held it a moment before. I lean closer. On the desk sits a radio. An old one, gray plastic, antenna bent like a broken arm. The dial turns on its own, twitching, searching. "Can you hear us?" The voice cuts through, male this time, low and crackling. My throat goes dry. I want to answer, but I can't move. Behind me a wheeze, wet, labored breathing. I spin, nothing, just the corridor stretching back into shadow. But the air feels heavier now, thicker, like someone standing too close. The radio hisses louder. My own name spills out in static, letters broken but clear enough. How the hell do they know my name? I stumble back from the desk. The flashlight trembles in my grip, throwing nervous shadows across peeling wallpaper. My name echoes in my head. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe exhaustion is playing tricks. But I've been here before in different ways. Nights alone with a busted TV, the VHS tape eating itself with static, trying to tune into a midnight broadcast when the signal slipped and the screen fuzzed into snow. Those moments when you weren't sure if you were hearing voices in the static or in your skull. The hallway branches left. I move, drawn like a moth, though the dark seems to thicken. Old posters cling to the walls, health warnings, blood drives, a county fair ad from '92. A smiling family in colors that have bled into one another, faces ghosted. My boot crunches glass. I look down. A shattered clock, its hands frozen at 3:17. Time doesn't work here, or maybe it works differently. The smell shifts again, sharper, metallic. I recognize it from childhood. The iron bite of blood, my stomach twists. At the end of the corridor, doors swing gently as if someone just passed through. I push forward. The hinges groan. Inside, the operating theater looms, circular, tiers of cracked seats above. In the center, an empty gurney, leather straps stiff with age. The radio sits here too, impossibly. Same model, same bent antenna. It clicks, a burst of static, then laughter. Not cruel, not kind, just wrong. I remember being 12, sitting on my bed with a flashlight under the covers, listening to a pirate radio station that only came through during storms. The host's laugh sounded just like this. The gurney creaks, the straps pull taut, as if unseen hands are testing them. And then a shadow shifts above me in the gallery seats. I can't breathe. My flashlight beam cuts through rows of seats, each one empty, dust draped like shrouds. But in the corner, movement, slow, deliberate. I swear I see someone rise, shoulders hunched, head bowed. "Who's there?" My voice shakes. No reply, just the faint buzz of the radio at my feet, static builds swelling like a tide. In it, fragments of music, organ chords, church-like, out of tune. The shadow shifts again, sliding from one row to another. I catch a glimpse, white fabric, a nurse's cap or a trick of the dark. I back toward the doors, every step heavier than the last. Flash dark, the overhead light sputters. In each blink, the figure seems closer. I shove through the doors into the hall. The slam echoes like gunfire. My chest heaves. My pulse pounds against my temples. The corridor ahead bends, leading to what used to be the pediatric wing. The thought chills me deeper than the night air. Memories surge. A field trip in '68. They showed us the children's ward, bright murals, painted animals marching along the walls, the smell of crayons and floor wax. Now the murals have peeled into grotesque smears, colors bleeding like wounds. Tiny handprints mark the lower walls, pressed in dust or something darker. The radio follows me here impossibly. I don't see it, but I hear it, from the ceiling vents, from the walls. Children's voices overlapping, chanting half a rhyme. Round and round, round and round. The sound dies suddenly. And then from the far end of the hall, a child's laughter rings clear. It's not joyful, it's hollow. Like an old cassette rewound too many times, the tape thinning, the sound stretched. The laugh bounces down the hall, too sharp, too close. I tighten my grip on the flashlight. My hand is slick with sweat. The doors ahead stand open. I force myself forward, past rooms filled with collapsed cribs and rusted IV stands. Stale air clings, flavored with mold and something acrid, burnt plastic maybe. A flashback claws at me, summer of '74, county fair. The smell of fried dough and gasoline generators, neon signs buzzing above rides that rattled like they might collapse. I won a cassette player at a ring toss booth. I remember walking home along a two-lane highway, the night air thick with cicadas. The tape hiss sounded almost like tonight's radio static, comforting then, not now. I step into the main ward. The mural animals leer down, twisted by decay. Beds line the room, skeletal frames draped in mildew-stained sheets. Something bulges beneath one, small, rising and falling, breathing. "Hello," I whisper, though I regret it immediately. The sheet stirs, slowly, deliberately. It pulls back, though nothing is there. The mattress sinks as if someone lies beneath invisible weight. The radio bursts alive. A child's voice sings through static, high and brittle. "Don't look under the bed." I stumble back but slam into a cart. The wheels screech, rolling on their own, slamming into the far wall. The beds creak all at once, springs tightening, pressure building, invisible bodies shifting. And from the ceiling vent above me something drips, warm, sticky. It lands on my cheek. I wipe it away, my hand comes back red. Blood fresh, impossible, my breath hitches as I stagger back. I shine the flashlight upward. The vent slats glisten, wet, as though something inside is bleeding out. The radio hisses louder. Voices overlap now, children, doctors, women crying, a deep announcer's tone like those old emergency broadcasts interrupting late-night television. Distorted words punch through the static. "Remain calm, remain calm." I drop the light for half a second to shield my ears. When I raise it again, the beds are empty. Sheets perfectly still, dust unmoved, no blood on the vent, my cheek, though still wet, still sticky. I don't know what's real anymore. I stumble into the hallway, leaning on the wall for balance. My fingers brush chipped paint, cold, flaking away like ashes. Down the corridor, a door hangs open to radiology. I step inside. Machines loom in shadow, hulking X-ray frames, their glass screens cracked. The smell of ozone lingers, faint, as if the power still hums through the wires. A memory bites through. 1981, sitting in a waiting room after a car wreck. My Chevy totaled, front end folded like paper. The radio still worked, though. I sat there, blood dripping from my hairline, listening to that damn radio while orderlies rushed past. Same static, same haunting in between frequency. The radiology machine flickers, a burst of light, white, blinding. My shadow stretches across the wall, but it's wrong, taller, broader, arms too long. The radio crackles again, a whisper. "Not yours, not your shadow." My chest tightens, my own shadow begins to move, even as I stand frozen. It peels from the wall like liquid, turning its head toward me. And it smiles. I bolt, my legs carry me down unfamiliar corridors, deeper into the maze. My breath rasps, burning my lungs. Doors blur past, pharmacy, records, morgue. Each one yawns open, black and waiting. The morgue pulls at me, I can't resist. My boots scrape against the cold tile as I push through the doors. The air inside is sharp with chemical rot, formaldehyde clinging to my throat. Drawers line the walls, most are shut but a few gape open, their slabs pulled halfway out. Stained sheets lie crumpled, stiff with age. In the center of the room sits another radio, always the same one. The dial spins wildly, clattering, searching for something. It lands on a frequency. A voice floods the room, steady, calm, an announcer. You are listening to the Midnight Hour, the show that never ends. I know that show. It used to air in the late 70s on a pirate station out of state. My brother and I would huddle in his room, lights off, tuning the dial. We thought it was gone, shut down, but here it is, alive in a hospital long abandoned. The slabs rattle, one drawer slams shut, metal ringing. Another slides open with a shriek. A shape rises beneath a sheet, slow, jerking as though pulled by strings. I back against the wall, heart hammering. The radio voice lowers, intimate now, almost whispering in my ear. You shouldn't have come back. The sheet falls away. And what climbs from the drawer wears my face. I stumble, hitting the floor hard. My double stands across the room, pale, eyes hollow, skin sagging as though drained. It tilts its head, mirroring me. Who are you? My words rasp. It smiles, my smile twisted. Its lips move, but the sound comes from the radio instead. We've been waiting. The corpse thing steps closer, dragging its feet, leaving smears on the tile. The smell of rot thickens. I crawl backward until my shoulders strike a cabinet. My flashlight flickers, threatening to die. The batteries are old, like everything else I carry. The double bends at the waist, leaning close. Its breath is ice. My stomach lurches as it whispers, not with sound, but with memory. Old songs, old commercials, radio jingles from the 80s I haven't heard in decades, all spilling into my head at once. I squeeze my eyes shut. You're not real. When I open them, the morgue is empty. Only the radio remains, whispering a tune from 1969. The summer I first kissed a girl at a drive-in, the projector light flickering across her face. A night meant to be golden, but here, warped, the melody sours into dread. The dial snaps, the music dies. A single word breaks through static. Run! The cabinets slam open all at once. Sheets spill, dozens of them, writhing as though alive. I tear from the room, chased not by footsteps, but by the relentless drag of cloth across tile. The hospital twists, corridors shift, bend. I swear doors lead me in circles, every turn drags me deeper. My flashlight dies completely. Darkness eats the hall. Only the radio guides me now, its glow faint, green numbers pulsing like a heartbeat. I clutch it, though I don't remember picking it up. It's warm against my hand, too warm. The broadcast resumes, a calm voice, female this time. You are tuned to Station 0, the broadcast beyond the grave. I choke down a sob. My throat is raw, my chest hollow. A flashback hits, winter of '93, snow on the highway, my car broken down, no one in sight. I sat in the cold, teeth chattering, fiddling with the radio. For a split second I thought I heard voices beneath the static, calling my name. I laughed it off, but tonight feels like the punchline. The hallway ahead opens into the main lobby. Glass doors shattered, wind howling through broken panes. Moonlight drips silver across the floor. In the center stands a payphone receiver dangling. It rings, shrill, slicing through the night. The radio hisses in my hand. Answer. I approach, each step heavy. My fingers shake as I lift the receiver. Nothing but static. Then a voice, my own, older, broken. You never left. The lobby doors slam shut. Locks click into place. The radio hums low and steady, as if waiting for me to believe. I stagger, holding the receiver. My own voice drips through the line, tangled in static. You've been here all along. The words sink, my knees weaken. I glance at the lobby walls. The paint peels differently now. Not walls at all, soundproof padding yellowed and cracked, straps dangle from shadows. A wheelchair rusts in the corner, seat cracked, restraints dangling. This isn't just a hospital, it's my hospital. Memories slam into me. 1976, the accident wasn't just a wreck. They said I drifted into the other lane. They said I heard voices from the radio telling me to keep driving. My brother didn't walk away from that crash. The years blur, nights in a locked room, doctors' questions, pills that dulled the edges, and always, the radio whispering just beyond hearing. I drop the receiver, it swings, clacking against the booth. The sound echoes like a gavel. The radio in my hand burns hot, searing. I want to throw it away, but I can't, it's part of me. Static swells, filling the lobby. Voices rise in chorus, doctors, nurses, children, my brother, my own laughter tangled with screams. You never left, they chant, you never left. The glass doors vanish, the way out is gone. Only corridors remain, endless waiting. The radio flickers one last time. A broadcast begins, my voice speaking, steady and clear. Welcome back to the midnight hour. and the static never ends.